My wife left me, and the kids all took her side. Now the kids are trying to reconnect, but I told them to keep that same energy. I was married at 22, had 3 kids by 30. When our oldest turned 10, my wife had an affair with her tennis instructor and left. We sat down and agreed not to tell the kids why we split, thinking we were protecting them from adult problems. That decision haunted me for the next 15 years. The kids blamed me for everything. In their eyes, Dad was the one who ruined the family. Mom stayed in the big house, kept their routines, played the victim perfectly. I moved into a small apartment and became the weekend dad nobody wanted to visit. Family dinners turned into interrogations. Birthdays felt like funerals. By the time my youngest hit 17, they'd stopped talking to me completely, except to send occasional texts telling me what a terrible father I was. My middle daughter told me she wished I'd never been born. That one stuck with me. I wanted to tell them the truth so badly. Wanted to show them the texts, the hotel receipts, everything. But my ex was smart. She threatened to drag me through court, claim I was unstable, and make my elderly mother's life miserable. She had the lawyers, the money, and the connections to do it. I was barely keeping my head above water financially. The isolation killed me slowly. I'd see photos on social media of family gatherings I wasn't invited to. Christmas mornings, I'd wake up alone while my kids celebrated with her and her new boyfriend. Yeah, the tennis instructor moved in 6 months after our divorce was finalized. After 2 years of complete silence, hit my lowest point and ended up in the hospital. My boss found me the next morning when I didn't show up for work. Spent 3 days in the hospital, another week in psychiatric care. When I got out, he sat me down and said he had a position available across the country if I wanted a fresh start. I was 41 and had nothing left in that city but pain. I took the transfer. The first year was rough. New city, no friends, just work and therapy twice a week. Then I met Monica at a coffee shop. She was patient with my baggage, helped me understand that my worth wasn't tied to how my kids saw me. We got married 2 years later. 10 years later, I'm 53. Monica and I have 2 kids, a 7-year-old son and a 5-year-old daughter. They're everything to me. I coach my son's soccer team. My daughter and I have pancake Saturdays. I finally understand what being a present father feels like. I told my mom years ago I didn't want updates about my older kids. When my middle daughter got married, Mom mentioned it and I spiraled for weeks. After that, I made it clear I needed complete separation to heal. Mom respected it until she passed away 2 years ago. Last Tuesday, my phone rang with that old area code. I answered without thinking, hadn't blocked it because I figured after a decade they'd moved on too. All I heard was Dad and my chest tightened. I panicked and said, sorry, wrong number, and hung up. My hands were shaking. They called back twice. I blocked the number after staring at it ringing. That night, I couldn't sleep. Monica found me at 2 a.m. just sitting in our kitchen. I told her everything. She held me while I cried for the first time in years. I called my uncle the next day. He still lives in my old city. He told me it was my oldest daughter, Nicole. She's 34 now. Apparently, she's been trying to find me for months. He said something about her finally learning the truth, but I stopped him. I didn't want to know. Here's what kills me. I have no idea if Nicole's married, if she has kids, if I'm a grandfather. My middle daughter, Riley, would be 32. My youngest, Violet, is 29. They're complete strangers. My therapist made an emergency appointment for Monday. She thinks I should at least send an email, hear them out. But I keep thinking about all those years, the hospital, starting over from nothing. My biggest fear isn't the pain of reconnecting, it's my young kids. What if Nicole and her sisters come back into my life just to leave again? I can't let my 7-year-old son experience what I went through. I won't. Monica typed out a text for me because my hands wouldn't stop shaking. I'll send an email address later. That's it. That's all I could manage. Part of me knows they were kids who believed their mom, but another part remembers being completely abandoned when I needed them most. They chose sides without knowing the full story, and that choice nearly killed me. Now they want back in after I've finally built something good. I don't know if I have it in me to risk this peace I fought so hard for.